Okay, show me.
Hey folks, Dude here, coming at you of all things, Friday, May 27th. And I am dragging ass. Well, I'm dragging ass like a puppy dog that's been playing for too many hours. Oh man, just making those little glowy guys work on the front end of my vehicle. No, it's not quite Christine, but you know what? It's looking a whole heck of a lot better than two that just didn't work. So how did I get to from here? Well, I went onto eBay. I was looking around for various lighting sources, and I grabbed the wrong bulbs. Oh man. The headlights on a Honda CR-V of my vintage takes H as in Henry, 1 as in number 1 bulbs. They are essentially a bayonet-style bulb that just slips into the holder, has a little metal clip, holds it in place. The actual socket is the ground, and then the plug, of course, is the hot side or the positive side making connection, of course, making the thing light up. Now, conversely, on mine, it uses 2 H1 bulbs. One being a tightly focused beam for high beam, one being a less focused beam for being the standard running lights, or, standard headlights, nothing crazy. So anyway, along the lines of that thing basically going together, I had instance to go, okay, great, put it together, boom. I got myself a fog light install kit off of eBay. Never buy the fog light install kits off of eBay. They are cheap Chinese crap, and the relay did not work. So flash ahead, I hadn't even installed the kit yet. Got the wrong bulbs, took the thing apart, realized they are 9006 bulbs. Oh man, 9006, that's like other Honda products and like older vintage vehicles. No, not that old, folks. I mean, they were hot stuff back 10 years ago. Because they are a standard quarter turn, third of a turn, easy halogen bulb, they xenon bulb, something along those lines. They just click any quick and dirty. And there is a plug that bayonets into the base of that makes it have its contact. So literally, it is a bulb shaped like an L, goes in, gives a turn, locks into place in the headlight assembly. Then you plug the wire into the base of it, and it goes click, and it's locked into place. Okay, so by and large, I'm now looking at the wrong bulbs. Go back on eBay, get the right bulbs, decide to put it all together. Well, folks, let me tell you what. It was a wrestling match outside. If you know anything about Maryland and, my little area of the Mid-Atlantic, dude, let me tell you something. You walk out the door, you're wearing flip-flops, you got an umbrella, you got a rain jacket on, you got a hoodie underneath that, then you're wearing shorts. Why? Because just wait 5 minutes, the weather is going to change. Well, it didn't change yesterday. Yesterday, it was like 87 degrees. First really warm day we've had yet. By and large, very direct sunlight, not a cloud in the sky. Very, very, very like bacon frying sounds when dude was wrenching on his stuff. All right, so anyway, I'm in the driveway, wrenching on my car, crawling onto, all over, bent over, wiring this, that, and the other thing. And the wiring kit that I got off of eBay sucks. Does not work at all. I'm back checking everything. I'm, using a test light and I'm checking every single connection. And let me bounce something off you guys. As a dyslexic, I can do electrical wiring. I don't do it fast. And by and large, when I'm locked into my zone, you can't disturb me. So I got it all lined up, playing with it, trying to figure it all out, trying to make things work, replacing stuff that didn't work, literally buttoned it back up, went out to the auto parts store, bought another install kit for like, $11. They were saying, here, you can buy the relay for $4. I'm like, What do you mean, I want the whole kit, just in case. I want extra wires, extra plugs, extra stuff, just in case. So literally I went out, got the second install kit, got back to my place, and used half of one kit, half of the other kit, figured out what went, boobs up, and got it working, got it all together. There's wires that are like 15 feet long, and they don't need to be. I gotta shorten everything up, make it look neater, and of course tie it in underneath my hood, and then of course do it in such a way that the wires are not gonna get rubbed on, grounded out, the stupid stuff that seems to happen for installs. The worst case scenario is you have a loose connection and then something just doesn't work. I'll get into that part later. So anyway, I get it all wired up, and I'm like, yeah, great, cool, okay, I think I have everything confirmed as working correctly. Go back inside the car, try to switch a couple times, try to switch a couple more times. Finally, it's turning on and off with the switch. I'm thinking, cool, great, yeah. I'm looking at a Chinese arithmetic experiment written in High German. All right, so literally I now have to constitute all this stuff and make the wires not such a raging mess. Anybody that does harness work, let me tell you, you guys deserve extra credit. It was a major PITA of levels, depths, and breadths I shan't get into. But let me just say, it was a total pain. So anyway, I get it all lined up, I get it working, and I'm like, cool, great, yeah. The next door neighbor comes over and sinks me with a torpedo right amidships as I'm in my zone trying to do something. Don't do that to a dyslexic. Just let them do their thing. If you break them off in the process of doing what they do, they are done. I was in my zone. I had everything perfectly lined up in my head. I was getting it all knocked out, and she comes over and asks me about a stray cat. Oh, dude, come on! Completely kills my mojo. Took me a couple minutes to mess around, couple more minutes to mess around. Finally, about another 45 minutes to mess around. Finally, I got it working again. I literally was trying to figure out the green wire versus this wire versus the black wire versus the white wire versus the red wire versus this and the other thing. No true good continuity for wire colors. I was literally making, one wire color work with another wire color, and that's never fun. You always try to use the same wire color for everything. Trust me on this one. It's so much easier. So anyway, get it all lined back up. Of course, I had to pick a drill bit out that was bigger than the hole that I originally left in my firewall from the first install. And behind the scenes story was I wrecked my car, and they put in the supposedly Honda fog light kit. They did a really, really, really suck-ass job because they didn't work. They simply just did not work. Then the switch went to crap, and I was like, oh great, now what? So anyway, I now have to rewire everything and do it all on my own. So literally I get the thing all buttoned up and doing stuff, and you can see from the examples, not quite Christine, but it does work with on and off. And the other thing too is also I was wanting to get a cool bulb. I didn't think, okay, I just want just a standard incandescent bulb in there because you know what? Incandescent bulbs don't take the shock well. And by and large, their service life isn't the longest. I wanted something that was going to hold up for a while, deal with the elements, and actually have good service life. So like I said, I went on eBay. That H1 bulb I bought was not a bulb. It was actually an LED slip-in unit. Only problem is you work with anything H1. It is literally like a key slot to fit the bulb in there because the bulb literally is about the diameter of a pencil eraser stuck on this little rectangle of metal that then gets it into the light assembly and points it at the proper distance, the proper aim, and of course secures the bulb in such a way that it doesn't go pop. Big important safety note here, never, ever touch a headlight bulb before you install it. The oils on your fingers are going to stress the glass and make it break prematurely. Don't do that. Take it out of the package, handle it in every other way possible except for touching the glass. Don't let the glass touch anything if you possibly can avoid it. As a matter of fact, they had a really bad problem with these, seriously halogen bulbs coming out of the package and them being dirty from the factory. So by and large, most of the time now when you get these things out of the box, they are clean. Don't touch them. Don't grab the brake clean, don't rub them, don't touch them, don't look at them except they're putting them in, and try to avoid as much contact as possible in trying to install it in the headlight assembly because as soon as you touch that bulb on something, it's contaminated. That's right, it's got something on there and it's going to make it go pop. So literally what I did was the H1 LED bulbs were a fail because they are not the right bulbs. Truly, if I wish to modify my headlight assembly, yes, I could put them in there, but they are not DOT certified as a driving light. Don't do that to yourself. If they say to put out enough lumens, you are talking a high power arrangement, which is going to draw like 80 watts minimum. And it's a lot of power, man. You better make sure that you got some good wires before you do that one. Now, the other thing, too, was also when I was putting this thing together, I got the 9006 bulb, which was the correct bulb. But the thing is I got an LED 9006 bulb, man. You look at this thing, and it's a cluster of like 62 little LEDs. The kicker is, it almost looks like HID. Why? Because I chose the correct Kelvin. When they measure like a light bulb color, they do it in Kelvin, like they're talking temperature of the sun. It is measured in Kelvin. So when you see a bulb that's like 5300 of 9000, 7000, whatever, blah, 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 they're describing how white or how yellow or what color of the spectrum the bulb is going to fall under. Now you guys are asking yourselves, so dude, what color Kelvin bulb did you get? I got what is called a 6000 Kelvin bulb, and it's about a half a step off of HID in terms of color. But it is a nice, semi-trace of blue, white, without a lot of glare bulb. Now, you might ask yourself, dude, can you drive around with these things at night? Well, there's a really, really dark section of road. It's about a quarter mile long, half mile long or something like that, not too far from my house. And I drove along there just using the fog lights. Yes, you can navigate like that. No, it is not recommended because it is not bright enough to drive around just with that as a sole source of lighting arrangement. Don't do that to yourself, folks. If you're going to use these things very, very soon after you install them, check and see just how bright they are. If they are bright enough to drive on singly, and even if they are bright enough to drive on singly, you are not allowed to drive around on just fog lights. You have headlights for a very good reason. They have a proper ride height. Chevy, of all people, ran into a problem years and years and years ago because their headlights weren't high enough. That's why you had Corvettes with the pop-up headlights, and they were built like that because it had to be a certain height above the center line of the lens to the ground. They cannot be below that distance or they are too low. The standard setting of the vehicle, they have to be a certain ride height to have the proper amount of saying to another car, yeah, I'm a car. Stupid, but that's DOT regs. So this is my little tale of woe, and if you're going to do this, just use better stuff. Don't use the eBay install kits, because they suck. Oh, man, what a pain in the ass. All right, folks, I'm going to break on this one. Eat good, keep 10 rings. Always, you know you love it. Lighting goodness. Show me. Just like Christine. It's good stuff. All right, folks, I'm going to break up with this one. Eat good, keep 10 rings. Always, you know you love it. Oh, auxiliary lighting that looks cool. Good times. See you guys.